All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the today's topic video for the 17th of December. This is part two. If you didn't see part one, you'll want to watch that first. But let's get into part two because we never got a chance to let our Queen of Pentacles speak, and we see she's going to be having some truth that she responds with because we see her showing up, or I'll say facing them as a Queen of Swords. This is somebody, she's coming across as somebody with high boundaries. So first off, let's just ask, how does that queen view whatever the situation was in the past? How does she view that? Ooh, got cards going everywhere. She views the situation in the past exactly the way they said it was, which is, oh, they were just a Knight of Swords, or excuse me, a Knight of Wands. They were just all over the place. Selfish, indulgent, coming in for romance but not sticking around. You know, it was all about the passion but no staying power. Seven of Pentacles sideways left it up in question whether or not this was something actually meaningful and valuable. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, put in zero effort. Six of Cups, they came back and forth in and out of my life, said they were a soulmate. It felt like a soulmate, but it was a constant cycle is what it feels like of leaving and returning with no kind of stability. So in the end, I realized they were not my King of Pentacles. They weren't ready to be anybody's King of Pentacles. So pretty much exactly what they recognized. Now, the one thing we don't see her saying, and I was devastated and I was so heartbroken, I was this and I was that. They're under the assumption that that's how she felt about everything. She's not discussing that. I want to know where she's been since all this went down. How has her life been since they've been gone? Hanged Man in the reverse says it was a little bit tilted, but says she quit waiting on them. She quit thinking about them. Hanged Man in the reverse says, what? Oh, yeah, that person. Yeah. That's only, they came in, they were not ready. They weren't ready to be anybody's grown-up partnership. They were just a knight. That's how it was. Yeah, I quit thinking about them. Ten of Wands, I laid down the burdens of that whole mess too, and my life's been awesome ever since. I've been working on something big, something like she could have started really focusing on career stuff, really let go of, I think she learned a tremendous lesson where it's like, maybe it was more about the passion. Maybe both of us, it was just like a very base desire. Big deal. Sometimes we do that in life. We get with somebody, we imagine it's, you know, a deep, profound love. And instead it's like, maybe it was lust. Fine, it was lust. I can accept it. I can let it go, not feel ashamed of it. I got other fish to fry. Life is busy. I got a career to manage. I got stuff to work on. So she's been very busy in her life, working on, I'm guessing, making her money, honey. Eight of Wands, she's been traveling, she's been doing stuff. Magician, she has been really creating an amazing life for herself, focusing on, I feel like she's been in, like, almost in the action taking version of manifesting instead of like pulling things toward herself. She's been going out and opening doors, kicking down doors, making opportunities for herself, possibly particularly in the field of career path. She might have like really made waves for herself, really opened up a whole channel of revenue for herself. Maybe she's a business owner. Maybe she, you know, developed a product. Maybe she's done something that is like so totally hers, and it's the projection of herself that she's putting out into the world. This is a very dynamic feminine that we've been talking about. It doesn't have to be a female, but we're going to talk about her as a divine feminine because she's come up exclusively as a feminine in part one. She is the ultimate Queen of Pentacles for sure. She's making her money, but she's doing it through taking the skill set that she has, the essence of herself, the determination, the drive, the excitement, the happiness. She's very happy, definitely very happy. And she's been making all kinds of things happen in her life. We have a Three of Wands. We have a Ten of Swords. She's been mostly focusing on the future, and she's changing what her future will look like. There is, when she thinks about what her future is going to be, even whatever career path she's doing is, and really making a, like, I feel like this is a trendsetter. This is somebody who cuts a path for themselves. This is somebody who is very, very driven, and it's very exciting, but they have a way bigger plan. They're like, my future is not going to look like my present. I'm doing this right now, but then I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to do that next. And she has this, maybe she has like a 3-year plan, and it's going to keep changing, and she's going to keep, opening doors for herself, walking into a new space, closing the door behind her, like changing career paths, changing outcomes. She may say, I'm going to live on some glorious island, retire early. I've got a plan for this. She's more focused on the quality of her life, I think, than she is about romance. So her life has been freaking fantastic, but more than anything, it's almost like getting this individual out of her life put her focus on her success, and man, has she been making progress. But she's gotten even more serious, even more dialed in. She's got a really big plan for how her life is going to look in the next, maybe it's in the next 3 months, but I would say in the next 3 years. She's got stuff really dialed in. 3 of Cups, the Fool. And there is the 5 of Cups here, but there's also a 10 of Coins. She's already saying, and you know what? I already know in life, it's a mixed bag. We meet people, sometimes it's a broken heart, but you know what we learn out of even those sorrowful experiences? We learn how to better hone our own skills, how to rely on ourselves. We also focus on the gratitude for our lives and all the great people that are in our lives and everything that we're able to accomplish in spite of sometimes feeling disappointed and feeling like, wow, I got to do this all on my own. But there's a power that comes with being able to do it on our own. We got nobody to answer to but ourselves. The thing is, there's no part of her that feels like she's going to be alone. She's saying, my future is going to look very different. I already know that there's some hottie up ahead, somebody that I'm going to feel a real profound love and loyalty with. I already sense that it's out there. She's about to start doing some serious hardcore dating, I think, and she already is aware that she's going to take a real leap of faith with someone else. I think she senses that there's somebody who's already got eyes on her. She maybe has not given this person her attention yet because she's still been acknowledging, I think, that what she went through with that previous person was disruptive. It was a real sorrow. However, she is really ready for a genuine connection. It's just nice to see that she's looking at it with such like clear eyes. This is not, she's not so steeped in agony and pain that she's somehow not, grown, not made her life amazing. She's not afraid of love. She's aware that when you give your heart, it can get broken because you're entrusting. And it's like handing somebody, this very delicate, blown glass, perfect thing that's very intricate, and you hand it to them and you go, well, let's see what they do with it. Are they going to drop it on the floor? Are they going to fumble it? It is risky, right? It's always risky if we hand anything of value to another person because we don't know if they understand the value of what this item is. We don't know how stable they are. We don't know if they're going to be clumsy. But I think she takes that in stride. So at this point, if they are attempting to communicate with her, and all of this looks like they're coming to some truth that they need to communicate with her, is she receptive to this? The Lovers, Ace of Coins, the 3 of Swords, the 2 of Swords. It's a very mixed bag on her side. She's saying, what I wouldn't give to leap into this person's arms, to have this new beginning. But in reality, I don't know. Do I want to take on somebody who visited their problems on me? And now they're coming in. What are they heartbroken because I'm the one that got away? I just don't know how I feel about this. It feels like it's a real mixed bag on her part. There's a desire for them. If only we could have done it all over again. If only I could have met you and I had that incredible high and we met each other for the first time ever and I felt so safe leaping into your arms. If only it could be that. But I think we had our chance. I don't know that it looks like she's saying yes to this person. They may be very stunned to discover that she's saying, God, I'd have given anything for this to be the version of you that I met last time. 9 of Cups, 5 of Swords. She may be saying, but I'm so sorry. That awesome song by Dwight Yoakam, Baby Things Change. It's so appropriate for this because she's saying, I'm really sorry, but now I'm really dedicated to my 9 of Cups. And so I actually, once upon a time you only cared about you. I got to be honest, at this point, I only care about me and my happiness. I want someone loyal. It feels like she's not giving them another chance. It even feels like there is still an underlying, like she's a little bit like, what the hell are you doing coming back to me now? Shouldn't you have been this person before? It does with that Five of Swords. It feels like there's an anger here because it's like so bitter. It's all this. I almost think she's saying, "Do you realize what I had to do? I had to move forward on my own. You treated me in some kind of way, and I had to move forward on my own. I had to go ahead and do stuff without anyone's help. And if only you could have been a safe space. If those arms would have been loyal arms. And maybe she's even saying, I thought you were the one. I thought I could have jumped into your arms. I thought you were so different than anyone I'd ever met. And then instead, it was just so ugly. And it could hurt them to hear her say all this, because I think she's going to be really open. Like, I loved you. Like, oh my God, I thought I had found the one. I felt at first like I was going to be so safe. I felt like you weren't like anybody I'd ever met. But instead, it was hostile and it was ugly and it was so not what I'd expected. And then I had no choice but to move on. And so for that reason, no, I don't want this anymore. I don't feel safe with you anymore. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it feels like she's going to just look. A Queen of Swords doesn't mince words. They may see her as this gorgeous Queen of Wands. They see her as a Queen of Pentacles, somebody of so much worth and value, but they also know that they caused her a lot of grief. And this is kind of the net result. Just because they're coming back in does not mean that they are going to get a chance with her again. Does she really mean this? Does she really mean this? That she really, truly does not want this person back. Ace of Wands, she's, it's hard because an ace is personal. It is like, I mean it, but there's a lot of fire along with this. So I keep feeling like there's this burning, like she's finally getting a chance to say, like, do you know what you did? Do you know what I thought of you? And then what you didn't turn out to be, all the things I would have given you, all the thought I could be safe in your arms, but then you weren't that person. It feels like she's really airing out the hurt that was caused. And this is her platform to like dump it out. But she's saying it in pretty much a dispassionate way, but I feel like it comes from a place of a lot of pent up passion. And it's just a chance to look, the coldness of a Queen of Swords. They don't mince words. They're going to say it exactly the way it was. I thought you were so different. I thought you were everything. I loved you so much. And it turned out that you were just a self-indulgent, kind of terrible experience, all said and done. I think they start crying when they hear this, because that's what we see on that Three of Swords. She is definitely turning the cold shoulder, but she's also saying the things that she needs to say. And I don't think she's saying it to hurt them. I think she's saying it because this is like, she's putting the pain that she felt into words. That's what I would say. Let me just ask, is this a good thing? To be able to like confront someone. The Death card, yes, this is the ultimate closure. This is finally getting a chance to get that out of her soul, to have somebody, the fact that they're acknowledging the hurt that they caused, and then the fact that she's able to put her hurt into words, into that context. And I think that the bottom line was, I thought you were the arms that I could trust to jump into. I was so happy, and I thought you were so different. And that, I think, is the core of the disappointment. And I also think that's probably why they start crying, because it's like, oh my God, I should have been all those things. Their heart is broken knowing, because it's really hard to look at ourselves. I think when we make really ugly mistakes, it's really, really, really hard. But the only reason this is like a cathartic good thing is because getting all this hurt and pain into words, having that like day of reckoning. This is not screaming, it's not crying, it's not trying to be hurtful. This is just saying, you know how it felt, you know what it was this and it was that. And so no, I don't want this with you anymore, because you already could have been all those things for me, but you chose not to be. And I feel like that is finally, she gets to get over this. And I also think it's the end for the road for these two. But I don't think it's a bad thing, because there was a lot of, like, this is so cathartic to get this out. Queen of Cups, wow. I do feel like this is very cathartic. She shifts downgrades into this really peaceful energy after that. What about them? How do they feel? Ooh, Hierophant in the reverse and the World card upright. They realize it's over with her. They do. They realize she's not going to be marrying them. They realize, though, that they at least closed a cycle. And this thinking about her, wondering if maybe they could still be with her, all of this has changed. It's not going to happen in this storyline for these characters, but there is a chance to be better from here on out. There's a chance to be a better person and not act like that anymore. There's a new beginning here, a new cycle to begin where they don't have to be that person. 5 of Wands. This is something they'll analyze for a long time, I think. And it'll continuously make them a better person. What happens on her side? I think she's like, this is the closure she needed to. We have 7 of Swords, we have Ace of Swords, and we have the 3 of Cups. She is realizing she did hold herself back from meeting somebody new. She had to have this truth. She wanted to hear this person or get a chance to speak her truth to this person before she was going to be rid of that unhappiness so that she could meet someone new. I think she had been saying, I know there's somebody up ahead for me, but she wasn't really open to meeting somebody new. Not really. Not until she purged this. Now, it doesn't mean that she needed to talk to this person to purge it, right? It was just she needed to really say the way she felt about something. And I think she didn't even know the kind of pain she'd actually been put through and what was at the core of it until getting a chance to express it. I mean, maybe it would have been better if she had talked to a therapist or a counselor who could have helped her identify that and get this off her chest a long time ago. Probably that would have been better because it would have happened faster. But I think she's realizing, wow, it took me a while to get to this point where I was able to clear this energy. And now that I've done it, it feels so much better. Now that was my blockage. I couldn't have met somebody new and fallen for somebody new until I got this off my chest. I really had to. Maybe she could have written it down and burned it. Maybe she just needed to identify what was still, kind of like that poison inside of her for a little bit about the way she really felt about something and needing to have it validated, needing to just have a place to say it. I think probably in this storyline, just because she gets a chance to say it to them, and the fact that they feel bad about the way this went, all of that, I don't even know if their reaction was any part of this for her that was necessary. I think she just needed to identify what had really upset her about the whole situation and get that off her chest. I would argue this, though. I do think her coming to that conclusion, getting a chance to think through it and say out loud what, almost like playing it out in her mind. Like, if somebody came back, how did I really feel about what happened? Would I really want this back? Why would I say no to it? What's the underlying reason for why I would say no? That finding the answer to that within herself was really cathartic. I don't think she needed to ever be able to say it to them. Like, if this character did not ever show back up in her world, I think she could have come to the same conclusion, like I say, talking to a counselor or a therapist, or, thinking through things. But there was definitely a need for catharsis, to let it go. I think the fact that they did this together, though, might show that they both got a chance to get something, to like, how do I say it? It's a different form of reconciliation. It's allowing mistakes to be addressed openly and honestly, to say, this is how it made me feel, and now we can actually close this thing. Yes, it was unpleasant. Yes, you're sorry. It still happened, but now we can both move on from it. It's very much closing a karmic cycle, but it took communication, which actually, the truth, that's what this is all about. Were they strong enough to hear the truth? Were they strong enough to allow that communication for them to speak and for them to hear her truth? This is a heavy, heavy, heavy storyline for sure. But I love the fact that there was no screaming, fighting. There was just the raw truth, and that kind of set this whole thing free and closed this cycle. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. I'll probably put a trigger warning on this because I know it was a heavy one. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next. Bye for now.